Good evening, and thank you for joining us at 6 on this Wednesday. I'm Andrew Heath.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. Glad you're with us tonight. Nurses at Rocky Mountain Regional VA Medical Center have been protesting their treatment recently, but this is an issue Contact Denver 7's been covering for years.
In this follow-up, consumer investigator Jacqueline Allen checks back in with a whistleblower about the settlement he hopes sends a message.
Protect our staff.
The recent VA nurse protests in Aurora
We'd like thorough, thought-out safety plans.
sounded all too familiar to Garland Dotson, a former safety specialist at the VA and whistleblower.
You quit after our story.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
We first brought you his story 2 years ago when records show a VA section chief made a monkey-like motion with her arms, telling him, "You look like a monkey." A VA investigation found the harassment claim was substantiated, but the section chief still has her job.
They plaster all over the building about no harassment, no hostile work environment, but they facilitate it and do nothing about it.
Since then, current and former Rocky Mountain Regional VA employees have reached out to Contact Denver 7, reporting a toxic work environment.
I was there 6 months before I started looking for another job. It was that bad. And I'm a 22-year veteran of the Army, so I've seen my fair share of bad leadership, and that is the worst.
This document is the settlement agreement.
Garland took his complaints to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. The documents show the VA settled for $45,000.
What message does this settlement send?
To me, it sends a message that, unfortunately for the VA, you have a problem. It needs to be addressed.
Contact Denver 7 reached out to the VA today about the settlement, and they sent us a statement saying, in part, there is no place for discrimination of any kind at VA, and we take all allegations of wrongdoing very seriously and investigate them thoroughly. So they point to some changes they've made in recent years. They hired a diversity and inclusion program manager in July of 2022. Also in 2022, they established a program focused on employee engagement and diversity, equity, and inclusion. And nationally, the VA created an agency equity team to eliminate disparities and barriers to recruit, hire, and retain employees from underserved communities. But Dotson, who is a veteran, says the nurse protests show that's still not enough. He wanted to tell his story today to raise awareness about the ongoing safety and work environment concerns for his friends still at the VA. For Contact Denver 7, I'm Jacqueline Allen.
And after reports of high turnover rates at the VA, we checked, and the VA tells us in the past year they've had about a 12% turnover. And the nurse retention rate, they say, is more than 90%, with 844 positions filled.